Delillo. I don't know what this is about. Hi book friends, welcome back to Books and Tea Time. I'm so excited for this week's vlog. So this week we are going to be vlogging the very beginning of my last semester of undergraduate school of my degree. So I am a senior this year. This is my last semester. I'm only taking 4 classes and I'm just so excited about this final semester and graduating, and there's a lot of difficult decisions coming up and a lot of adulting to do, but right now I'm just relishing in the glory of being so close to getting my first degree. For those of you who don't know, I'm an English literature major, and I did a similar video to this in the fall for my fall semester, so I'll have that linked in a card if you want to go check that out. But I'm an English literature major with an Irish minor, so I'm taking 2 English classes. One is like my capstone and another one is just the class that I'm taking. I'm taking Irish 6, and then I'm taking a general education requirement course as my final one. So I'll give you the details about what the class is about. I'm going to show you guys all the books that I'm reading this semester for my various classes. Later on in this video, at different moments, I'll tell you how the first classes went. Today's currently Tuesday. Even though it's Tuesday, today was my first day of classes because we had yesterday off for Martin Luther King Day. Happy Martin Luther King Day. I had 2 classes today and they both went well. You know, the first class is always pretty typical, like you introduce yourself and read the syllabus and stuff like that. So I'm really looking forward to tomorrow. I have 2 more classes tomorrow. And then I'll have had all of them and I can tell you guys about them. I'm going to show you guys quickly what I'm currently reading for fun and what we'll generally be talking about in this video in terms of that. First things first, I am currently reading The Death of Dalgath by Michael J. Sullivan. This is the 3rd book in the Rhyria Chronicles series. It's an epic, amazing, hilarious fantasy series that I am just obsessed with. And I'm on the 3rd book, and as you can see, I'm almost done. I'm planning on finishing this tonight, and I'll give you guys a summary and my thoughts after I finish it tonight. I only have, I think, 50 or 60 pages left. Then I am buddy reading Little Women with one of my friends from high school, and also who happens to be on Bookstagram, and I'm bookish friends with her too. Her name's Nikki. I'll have her Bookstagram linked down below if you guys want to go check her stuff out. But I kind of reached out on my Instagrams and asked if anybody wanted to do an informal book club this year, or just over the next couple months, and we decided to read Little Women together. I don't have a physical copy, but I am listening to the audiobook, and I'm 6% of the way done with that. But it's our January book. If anybody else wants to read Little Women with us, you are welcome to. Comment down below. I think I read Little Women when I was really, really young, as a child, and I haven't read it since then. I remember bits and pieces about it. Mostly I just remember spoilers. Also, I'm still reading Paradise Lost. I was supposed to finish this last semester, and I didn't. So I've been trying to just chug away at it and get it done. I'm halfway done. And I really need to finish because I'm behind schedule on this. Because I'm kind of reading it for my thesis, but I'm also kind of reading it just for background knowledge. My thesis isn't on Paradise Lost, but Paradise Lost is a relevant text, so I wanted to read it for that reason. And it just turns out that I've been procrastinating it, so I'm in the middle of reading this technically. Welcome to the vlog, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So, peace. Hi everybody, we're in a new angle today with some natural light that I hope isn't completely washing out my pale ass face. But anyway, I'm here to show you guys all the books that I'm reading this semester for my classes and what classes they're for, just as a brief introduction. So far I've had 3 of my 4 classes, and my last one is tonight at 5, so at the end of the day I'll be able to give you guys a first impressions of all of my classes. So, as I said, I'm taking Irish 6. It's like the last available level of Irish that you can take, and this is my last semester, so it worked out perfectly. So I'm in Irish 6, and really we are doing a lot of just writing and reviewing and getting all of our verb tenses down. But I was planning on reading this book last semester for Irish just for fun. It's The Witches by Roald Dahl in Irish, and it is pronounced Na Cailleacha. And I wanted to read this last semester just to give myself a little bit of an exposure to reading an actual novel in Irish, and this is a middle grade story, so I thought that it would be okay. There's still a lot of vocab that I'm missing, but I think that I can do it, so I'm going to try and push myself to read this book this semester, but this is the only book I'm pretty sure that we're reading for my Irish language class because it's mostly about getting the grammar down and just making sure we're as fluent as we can be when we graduate. I've never read The Witches in English, which is another roadblock for trying to read this book, is I have no idea what it's about in English, but for the most part I think it's about this little kid who lives in the Netherlands, I think, and I'm assuming he encounters witches, so we'll see, but not 100% sure. Next, I am taking my last Gen Ed course, and it is a class about food and the gender implications and political implications of food and how all of those different things intersect. It's so interesting. It's the most niche and specific topic I think I've ever encountered. I'm really excited for this class and all of the interesting things we get to investigate, like cultural preparation of food and the food industry and capitalism and consumerism, things like that. But we are reading one memoir. It is Miriam's Kitchen by Elizabeth Elric. All I really know is this is a memoir about a Jewish American woman, and I'm assuming it has something to do with food because we're reading it for a class, and the title is Miriam's Kitchen. So I don't know, we'll see. But my professor said she really loves teaching and discussing this book, so I trust her, and I'm really looking forward to chatting about this book. After that, my third class is my senior seminar course, which is a capstone for my English literature degree. It's just like a research-based, independent research-based paper writing class just to wrap up all of your academic writing skills, basically. But we are reading 3 books, and I'm so excited for this class. It's taught by my favorite professor, and we are investigating one of the most fascinating topics. We are looking at post-humanism and post-humanist thought and analyzing the representations of what it means to be human and who controls the definition of what it means to be human, who's excluded by that definition. And we're going to look at 3 fantasy texts, actually, which I think is so cool, or 3 primarily fantasy texts from what I understand, to investigate how these authors challenge or are complicit with the different definitions of humanity. The first one is The Golden Compass by Philip Pullman. If you've seen any of my other videos, you'll know that I've read this entire trilogy twice. I'm doing my senior thesis BPhil project on this trilogy and how it intersects with the works of Romantic poet Lord Byron, and I just adore Philip Pullman. His Dark Materials books are adapted into a TV show on HBO, which is incredible and such a really excellent adaptation. I think it's the best adaptation that I have ever seen for a book in the way that it captures exactly how it feels to be in this world. This is technically a children's literature book, but I don't like to advertise it as children's literature because I don't think that any age group should not read this. I think children should read it, young adults, new adult, adult, older people who think that they've surpassed the time to read children's literature. Anybody can read this book and should read this book or this trilogy. It's so fascinating. It's like fantasy mixed with a couple hints of sci-fi. It investigates the possibility of multiple worlds and traveling between multiple worlds, and it's just such a wonderful and rich text. Next, we're reading The Girl with All the Gifts by M.R. Carey. I haven't heard anything about this book, but I know my mom read it and she liked it. Oh my god, and Joss Whedon director of Buffy the Vampire Slayer blurbed it on the back as so surprising, so warm, and yet so chilling, as fresh as it is terrifying. That's awesome. From what I understand, it's a fantasy series about a girl with some gifts. The back, it says, every morning, Melanie waits in her cell to be collected for class. When they come for her, Sergeant Parks keeps his gun pointing at her, while two of his people strap her into a wheelchair. She thinks they don't like her. She jokes that she won't bite, but they don't laugh. So, a child is in prison. That gives me like 11 from Stranger Things vibes. I'm not sure, but I'm really excited to read this book and to see what it's all about and to investigate it through a lens of post-humanist theory. The last book I'm reading for senior seminar is by an author that has been in my radar for several months now. I've seen a couple different books by her floating around on Booktube, and I'm so excited to be reading one of them and to hopefully pick up a lot more this year, and that is The Book of Phoenix by Nadima Okorafor. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. I have heard so many things about Okorafor. I know that Reagan from Peruse Project, recently read Akata Witch and hauled the second book in that series. I'm not 100% sure what the title is. The back says, a fiery spirit dances from the pages of the great book. She brings the aroma of scorched sand and ozone. She has a story to tell. The Book of Phoenix is a unique work of African futurism, a prequel to the highly acclaimed World Fantasy Award-winning novel Who Fears Death. It features the rise of another of Nnedi Okorafor's powerful, memorable, superhuman women. So I think that superhuman is probably where we're going to investigate the definitions of humanity and how those are defined strictly within certain lines, and how superhuman people probably are cast out of that definition. I'll let you guys know what I think of it when I get to it. I think this is the last one we're reading though, so it might take a little while. But yeah. Last but not least, I am taking a class on postmodernism because I feel like of all the eras of literature that literature's typically broken down into, I have the least experience with modernism and postmodernism. And so I decided to take this class just to prep myself for grad school so that I know something about postmodernism, because even though I'm not technically going to grad school for that period, I would just like to have some experience so I don't like run into problems where I feel like I know nothing. I'm a little nervous or hesitant about it because I am like a 19th century gal through and through. I like 20th century literature, and I mean, I just like books in general from any time period. But we're reading 6 books for this class, so I'm going to go through them real quick right now. I know virtually nothing about all of them, so please don't roast me if I get the descriptions wrong. The very first book we're reading is The Crying of Lot 49 by Thomas Pynchon. Yeah, I don't know. This is what it looks like. Uh-oh. Already looking at the back, I'm a little nervous because it says that this is similar to Joyce's Ulysses. I read some of Ulysses and I did not like it, so I'm a little nervous about that. Oedipa Maas is made the executor of the state of her late boyfriend, Pierce. As she diligently carries out her duties, she is enmeshed in what would appear to be a worldwide conspiracy. Okay, I'm into conspiracies. That could be something. I don't know. And it's relatively short, so if it absolutely sucks, at least it'll be over soon. If you're particularly interested in me vlogging any of these books, let me know down below, and I'll make sure to go out of my way to vlog my experience, because I have a feeling I might have some funny comments about some of these books just because I'm so nervous. I don't know. Next, I'm going out of order now, but we have White Noise by Don DeLillo. It tells the story of Jack Gladly, his 4th wife Babette, and 4 ultra-modern offspring as they navigate the rocky passages of family life to the background babble of brand-name consumerism. What the hell? Okay, so this sounds like it's going to be a commentary on consumerism and maybe family life, like the nuclear family. Super interesting. Not 100% sure. I mean, this one is kind of appealing to me, but again, it's, I think, one of the longer books we're reading, so hopefully it doesn't suck. Okay, third book is Mumbo Jumbo by Ishmael Reed. I haven't heard anything about this either. This is a satiric deconstruction of Western civilization, a racy and uproarious commentary on our society, which I am 100% down for. I love a good I love a good satire. Alright, 3 more. Next we're reading If on a Winter's Night a Traveler by Italo Calvino, and it is translated from Italian, so it's written originally in Italian, translated by a man named William Weaver. First, I really like this cover. It's so simple, but it's so attractive to me. I really like the minimalist design and the shiny business here, and that it looks handwritten. It says on the back that this is not one novel, but 10, each written with a different plot, style, ambiance, and author, and each interrupted at a moment of suspense. Together they form a labyrinth of literatures known and unknown, alive and extinct, through which two readers, a male and a female, pursue the storylines that intrigue them and one another. That's an interesting premise, so I'm intrigued. And again, I really like the cover, so that's a plus. These last 2 books I'm a little worried about for the same reason. So first, I'm just going to tell you what they are, and then I'm going to tell you why I'm worried. So first, we have Naked Lunch by William S. Burroughs. And then the other one is Blood and Guts in High School by Kathy Aker. That's what these 2 are. And I'm worried that both of these, the graphic content is going to disturb me too much. But I mean, I signed up for the class and I know that's a possibility, so I'm just gonna truck through it. But I mean, I tend to have a lot of problems, like normally this time of year, like seasonal depressive stuff. I find that taking literature classes that are depressing in the spring semester ironically depresses me more because it's cold for most of the spring. So I hope that the violence and the disturbing content in these books doesn't get to me too much. This book is about a narcotics addict in New York, and it says it's known for its taboo subject matter. So I'm just a little nervous about this. I don't know. We'll see. I have no idea what it's about other than that, but hopefully it doesn't get me too bad. And then this one, I believe this is about a woman who is sold into sexual slavery. I might be getting that wrong, but I can only see half of the synopsis. It has been labeled everything from post-punk porn to post-punk feminism. So I'm intrigued, and I think that it's going to be a difficult read, but a book that's worth discussing and worth reading, even though it's painful. I just have a tendency to avoid books that are meant to make you feel pain, like A Little Life, things like that, just because I like to enjoy to some degree my reading experience, but at the same time I know it's important to read certain things like literature, like educational literature with like difficult content, because it's meant to open you up to something that your privilege protects you from. I have class in about an hour, so I'll come on and update you guys later, but I just wanted to show off all the books that I'm reading this semester. Let me know if you have read or are going to read any of these books, if any of them are on your TBR. And I'll let you know what I think about them in the future. So, yeah. Peace out. I'll see you in a little while. Hi, I just wanted to check in and give you guys a quick OOTD moment. I have this really soft, colorful sweater on top, and then pajama bottoms. The privileges of Zoom school is you can do business on top, party comfy on the bottom. This is my dead plant. Please ignore that. I don't know if it's gonna grow back or if it's dead for good. I hope you're all having a good day. Here's my classroom, everybody. Got class in 4 minutes, so I should probably speed this up, but got my notebook, glasses, my laptop, and some tea. This is a mug that I got for Christmas, belatedly, so it didn't make it into my Christmas video. And I'm drinking tea from Sips By that I got. It's called Tuscan Dream, and it is a dream, so super excited. Gotta go to school. Hi, friends. I'm just here doing, okay, Miles whining. Just doing some homework. I have to do like a Christmas journal style thing in Irish of like a review of everything I did over break. Milo's up there crying for some reason. Milo, why are you crying? My mom just left to go on a run, so he's like really pissed. But I have Alexander here just hanging out. He hasn't started school yet because he's lame. So he's just doing some other stuff. He is working on his own sticker brand live on Redbubble. I'll leave a link in the description box if you want to check it out. Lots of cute raccoon stickers is his new thing. Because, you want to tell them? You love raccoons.
I love raccoons.
He's obsessed with raccoons. I don't know why. It's kind of a niche thing, but they're really cute. And I ordered something, but I haven't gotten it yet, so I'll show it off when I get it. But yeah, so he's gonna work on that, and I'm gonna write 4 pages in Irish. Right now, this is all I have. So send help. Am I right? Hello.
Hi everybody, this is Editing Addie. I just wanted to apologize for the huge yellow dot that appeared on the screen. I have no idea where it came from or how to make it go away. I am a huge mega novice when it comes to this camera apparently. Still don't really know how to fix it, so please bear with me and don't unsubscribe. Okay, love you, bye.
I'm coming at you with just a couple of random updates. It's Saturday, so I'm officially done with my first week of classes, but I am going to take you guys through the weekend because I am going to start reading some of my books for class and just so you get a little more out of this vlog, I guess. But I've got a bunch of updates. First things first is my first impressions of my first week of my last semester. That was a lot. Say that 5 times fast, am I right? I am so genuinely excited for every class I'm taking this semester. I feel so like blessed. I'm excited about every project that I'm doing. I'm looking forward to every book that we're reading, and just across the board I think this is going to be a really awesome semester. I'm just looking forward to everything. But one other thing that I wanted to tell you guys that I hadn't really mentioned is even though I'm taking only 4 classes, I am finishing and defending my thesis this semester. I have to finish editing and revising that document, and then I defend my thesis in front of a committee sometime this semester as like the end celebration of the research that I've done. I think it's gonna be really, really fun and doable. Like, I'm not overly stressed about anything because I know that I am gonna be able to do everything. Like, it's gonna require a lot of work, but there's nothing that I'm like, oh geez, I don't know if I could do that, or I'm like anxious about it. As far as assignments this weekend, I have an article to read, a short story to read, and then I'm starting 2 books. So I have to read like the first 70 pages of Miriam's Kitchen for my like food and gender and politics class. And then also I am starting The Crying of Lot 49 this weekend. This is the first book that we're reading in my postmodern literature course. And we have to read, I think, the first 3 chapters, which is about half. Those are my school updates. Then the other thing is that I finished The Death of Dolgath, which I told you at the beginning of the vlog that I was almost done with. So I finished this, I think, like 2 or 3 days ago. But I forgot to update you about it. So right now I'm going to tell you. And as I said, this is the 3rd book in a series, so I can't say too much. Although I can tell you that it is my favorite in the prequel series so far. The first one is a really good starter to a series, and especially a prequel series. You find out how the 2 main characters meet. It's funny. It's just very entertaining, and it's a great setup for the series. The second book, which I reviewed in my autumn wrap-up, which I'll have in a card if you want to see it, just didn't have enough of the 2 main characters for me and was a little slow. It was definitely the slowest of any Michael J. Sullivan book that I've read, and wasn't as action, like usually Michael J. Sullivan does a really good job of balancing political intrigue and political drama with action scenes and just like action-packed plot devices and with funny dialogue. But I think the second one, which is called The Rose and the Thorn, the balance wasn't there for me as much. This one was excellent. I gave it a 4.5 out of 5 stars. It was funny, it was action-packed. There was a little bit of a mystery as an undercurrent of this one. Loved it. Royce and Hadrian, just top tier, amazing. I absolutely love them. And I can't wait to read the next book, which I think is the last book in the series. If you like fantasy, if you like escapist, action-packed stuff, sword fights, Michael J. Sullivan, or just like battle scenes in general, Michael J. Sullivan does a really good job of making sword fights and like battle scenes accessible and not jargon heavy, and also just interesting. So I really like that. Funny, awesome dynamic. If you like Lethal Weapon, or Lord of the Rings. This is like Lethal Weapon and Lord of the Rings had a really kick-ass baby. Right now, I'm going to go over Alexander's house and we're going to hang out. I'm going to do some homework. He's going to do some other work. You guys saw he was here yesterday. But then also, I got him into His Dark Materials, the TV show on HBO, because, bless his soul, he doesn't like to read. But I told him that he had to watch the show so he could understand my thesis, because he does read the things that I write, albeit a little begrudgingly, but he does. Last night we finished season 1 of His Dark Materials, and I haven't seen season 2 yet. I had watched season 1 by myself, and then like I rewatched it with him this past week. So we're gonna start season 2 tonight, I think. Happy weekend, happy Saturday, peace. Hi everyone! Okay, I am coming here just to give you some last minute updates and just do my outro clip. It's officially Monday. I got some footage of Alexander and I watching His Dark Materials, but I didn't vlog as much as I was hoping to vlog over the past 2 days, so sorry about that. But basically I was just doing homework, watching football, and watching His Dark Materials with Alexander. So nothing really exciting. I just wanted to give you 2 quick updates on school reading. I had to read a short story by John Bart called Lost in the Funhouse, which was so weird. Weird. Weird is really the only way I can describe it, and a little painful, perhaps. And I finished reading the first 74 pages of Miriam's Kitchen because I have to have that chunk read for tomorrow for my gender politics food class. And I'm really enjoying this so far. It's very interesting. It's like a memoir meets a cookbook meets like a spiritual sort of reflective journey. I don't really know how to describe it, but there's actual like recipes in here. Let me show you. Like this one is a recipe for chicken liver with noodles. And then there are just other sections where the author talks about their childhood, about their grandparents, even their great-grandparents, their parents, their in-laws, and just all of these different generations of Jewish communities and Jewish cooks, specifically women, and how the mothers in the house, how they learn to cook and how they share their knowledge of cooking and their knowledge of keeping a kosher kitchen. Really cool, really interesting, and I'm enjoying it so far. So yeah, thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know it was a shorter, less action-packed vlog, but I mean, going back to school is always a little chaotic. I hope you guys are all having a great start to your year, a great January. Like, comment, and subscribe if that's your jam, and I'll see you in my next video. Happy reading, happy writing, and happy living. Bye!